Howdy folks, Uncle Mo here, sending you greetings from Planet Arkadia inside of Entropia Universe. I'm at the Moonshine Bar, trying to get a Coors Light and a Jaeger bomb, but I don't know, I think they cut me off or something here. So, in the meantime, I think I'll do a little video here on why I think you should play Entropia Universe. Tell you a little bit about myself first. I've been playing MMO since Dark Age Camelot. That was my first and most favorite MMO. Loved that thing. Played it for a couple years and moved on to EVE Online, which would probably be my second favorite. I've played many titles since, and in between then, those would probably be my top two, though. All right, and finally, about a month ago, I started playing Entropia Universe, and I'm loving it so far. Wish I would have tried it earlier, but in a way, I'm also kind of glad I waited, because the game's really polished up now. It's where it should be right now, and they're continuing to put content into it. So. First and foremost, why you should give Entropia Universe a try is everything for the past couple years has sucked. Let's face it, for 2010 and 2011 were not banner years for MMOs. A lot of WoW clones put out. A lot of MMOs that were just released too soon. They didn't deliver what they promised. And I've played mostly all of them. Even tried a couple older ones. Lord of the Rings comes to mind. I played Warhammer. SWTOR was my last nightmare. The little smaller titles from like Perpetuum Online, which wasn't too bad, but anyways, none of them really held my attention for more than a month or two. Entropia Universe has finally given me that kind of, I don't know, online crack that I'm used to feeling when I played Dark Age Camelot or EVE, where you just felt like you couldn't put it down. And maybe that's a good thing, maybe it's a bad thing, but it's I don't want to stop playing. Obviously, I got a real life. I do things, but the game's good enough. I look forward to getting back to it. All right, fair enough. Real cash economy. I know that scared me off for a while. This game has a real cash economy. It's not a traditional subscription MMO where you buy the client for $50 and then pay $15 a month after that. No, you just basically buy the online currency. That's called PED, or Project Entropia Dollars. You can always deposit and withdraw those. It's 10 PED for every dollar. And that's the way they make money here is through little microtransactions, and every system in the game is set up as a negative expectation, or like a slot machine. I work in the casino business, folks, so you're going to hear me compare a lot of things to slot machines and hear odds and things like that. So roll with that, all right? Now, you can't play this game for free if you just want to give it a try for free. There's people do what's called hunting sweat, which is just kind of an item in the game that has some limited uses. People will pay a couple pennies for it, but if you grind enough, you can start building up a little bankroll and ultimately play for free that way. I definitely recommend depositing. It's totally safe, and the company that runs this game is called Minarch. They have a bank. They've been doing this for 8 years. A lot of people think this is a Ponzi scheme or something like that. I can certainly understand trepidation, especially if you were an online poker player, played Full Tilt or any of those, and maybe got lost some money that way. I understand your fears, but this game has been ruled in the United States as not being gambling. It is perfectly legal, so you can play it, I think, with a clear conscience. You can, with a small deposit, try hunting. There's 3 major professions: hunting, mining, and crafting. Hunting would be probably the cheapest one, especially if you did the traditional rate. Say, initial deposit of $50 and $50 per month thereafter. You'll be just fine for hunting, folks, for a long, long time. After that, it'll probably be mining. Mining gets a little more expensive, simply because you need to be able to have money in reserve while the things you mine are on the auction house. Okay, those things can sit up there for up to a week. So you need enough money to kind of float around to kind of wait and gain your profits off of that. All right. Lastly, there's crafting, which is really the most expensive profession in the game. You just want to wait for that. But it's just something, with a large enough bankroll, you can do anything in this game, really. But it's best to start off either hunting or mining. All right. Now, negative expectation systems. How does that work? Like a slot machine, you know, on average, a dollar slot, if you deposit $100, you'll probably get back 95 over time after you run through that $100. In this game, expected returns are probably in the 90% range. So if I spend $100 or 100 ped on mining, I should get 90% back on average, or 90 ped. Now, how do you make money in this game with that? Well, you want to go after those types of minerals and ores and things and loot that will sell for a markup on the market, all right? Say 120, 130% over its normal TT, or what's called trade terminal value, all right? That's where you're going after your profit, folks. You got to make up for that negative expectation and then sell it to other players at a markup, all right? And each profession's doing this, all right? So miners are doing that with their ores and their matters. Hunters are doing that with their loot. And then crafters ultimately will buy these things and make items, sell them at a markup back to you. And that's how each of the three professions can make money. Now, some players, obviously, there's going to be losers over time in this game. That's just how Mind Arc makes money. They're just chipping away at everybody a little bit at a time. But you always have a chance to hit that jackpot, that, well, it's called a Hall of Fame, a HOF in the game. For instance, mining for the past 24 hours, let's see, the biggest jackpot has been 8,815 ped in pyrite, all right? So that's for $880, and plus whatever the markup is on that. They'll have to sell that on the market. It's probably worth even more than that, folks. There's also PvP in the game, piracy. When you fly from planet to planet, you can get shot down and you can get looted for all your stackable items. Not everything is lootable, like your armor and tools and things like that you keep, but if you're carrying ores or anything that's considered loot, you will lose that. There's also safe ways to travel. So people offer taxi services on some of their ships, or even their big motherships that are really quite safe. So there's things like that to do in the game. I want to wrap this up here, so I'm going to get to the last points here, folks. A lot of great information, lots of people here to help you get started, okay? You think with a real cash economy there wouldn't be anybody to help you out. There are. There's mentors. There's people willing to spend time with you. I'm currently going through, there's actually a mentoring process in-game. And you can see this kind of skill bar here. And it works basically like a comm system in a casino, basically. Once the skill bar is filled up, I'm going to get a free set of armor. But I'm working with a mentor, an actual person in-game that's helped me with each phase of the game. All right, they're giving me advice. He's a veteran that's really helped me out. His name's Neil Greenleaf Armstrong, or Stockton. Excuse me, Neil Armstrong. No, Neil Greenleaf Stockton. Been very helpful. He's one of the Planet Arkadia forum advisors. Well, there's tons of people like this in game that are veterans that are just want to help you get play the game, you know. And their advantage is they get to have other players in the game that can buy and sell stuff, you know. The bigger this game is, the better the economy is, etc., etc. So people want to help you get started, folks. Also, a lot of great little calculators and things like that players have developed over the years. Little big mining log. There's skill calculators. You know, just lots of little player tools like that in the game that'll help you get started here. I'm going to hop in my little VTOL for the last part of this video, just to kind of fly around and just hopefully give you a little scenery in the game here. The game is a beautiful game. It's constantly updated. It's currently on Crytek's CryEngine 2, very modern gaming engine. It's pretty. A lot of people with the update, they had to update their computers. They weren't very happy about that, but you know, like any MMO, if you're not keeping up with the times, people are going to dump you after a while. So they definitely had to upgrade. There's a little map of Planet Arkadia here, and as you can see, it looks like a tic-tac-toe board. It's this whole map's on 9 different servers, so it's a seamless environment, which people like. You don't have to go from server to server. So one server here, folks, with obviously a ton of different areas. There's 4 different planets. There's areas on those planets. There's asteroids to visit. If you're at all an explorer, there are plenty of things for you to do in this game, all right? Great UI, too. All these little icons and stuff. Yeah, there's Q bars and whatnot, but any little icon in the game, if you want to just put it, you know, here, that'll stay there for you to press it, you know, no problem. You can trash it out. So this thing, it can be molded any damn way you want. You can see I got some emotes over here. I got other little command things over here. So the UI is fabulous. It can really be manipulated any way you want it. Lastly, I'm going to get into some cautionary measures and items. It is a real cash economy, so you can go broke if you're not really playing properly. If you're not paying attention to any of the hints, you can lose money at this game. But keep in mind that everything you buy in for in this game, everything you buy, like this ship, everything's got value. It can be resold back to the game, and that money can be cashed out. So when you want to cash out, a lot of people, they can sell everything on the market. They still retain value. Nothing's bind on equip. Even your skills can be put on to little chips and sold. If you really want to totally cash out of the game, you don't want to play anymore. So it's going to be hard to, if you deposit $50, that just doesn't disappear. You're gonna have some sort of value for that, all right, throughout the game. Again, the way they make money is through microtransactions, all right. Every time you auction something, they're going to get half a ped, things like that. We're just flying into the Celeste Quarry here. This is kind of the main area of the game for Planet Arkadia. The game can be a little tedious. There's no... if you're a quester type, there's plenty of MMOs for your type of play. This is really about hunting mobs and a bit of grinding, sort of traditional MMO type play. There's definitely missions and things to do. There's plenty of little story areas in the game. There are things for you to do, but that's not the bulk of the game as far as I can tell so far. All right, you need to level your skills up to be optimal in this game. So keep that in mind. Lastly, a lot of people complain about there's an occasional scam out there. Just use common sense. I haven't been really involved in anyone trying to scam you or anything like that. Obviously, with the real cash economy, there's no gold spammers. There's no Chinese gold farmers. Everything's everybody here is basically a Chinese gold farmer. Everyone's trying to make money. So just use common sense and pay attention to the people that are here to help you. The real cash economy draws a very mature community, lots of advisors. There's plenty of great societies or guilds, they're called societies in this game, that you can join. And they all have different interests. So, folks, it's free to give it a try. You can play it. There's plenty of guides in there on how to play on a budget. And you're really not going to go over what I would consider the traditional MMO fee. And if you want to plunge some big dollars into this, you can. It'll still be there. It just kind of either chips away or you'll make money after a while. So give the game a shot. It's again, for me, it's been what I've needed and what I've been missing out for at least a few years after suffering through all the crap here. So folks, thanks for listening to the video. Comment, subscribe, throw questions on there. If you're a veteran, share some stories about oh man, I should do a whole video here. I'm going to do a whole video on just talking to the veterans and why it's better to play now than it was then. There's just listening to some of the old vets talk about how the game used to be. It was like, oh my god, I don't know how they did that. But definitely post some questions. One of my next videos is going to be, I've done a deposit. I'm almost up to my 30-day point of the game, and I'm going to just tell you how I've done. And we'll kind of go over where I've spent my money. I've kept track of everything on Excel spreadsheets, and so that should be pretty interesting. Give you a much better idea of exactly where money goes in this game. So until then, Lurie Uncle Mo Nightshade. Peace out from Planet Arkadia and Entropia Universe. Hope to see you in here. Look me up, give me a shout, okay? Y'all take care. Bye-bye.